Caffeine and Coils, and I'm Deanna.
And I'm Jenny.
And we have a special guest today. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Absolutely. I'm Josh WIlliamson. I'm an ISP out of the Tuscaloosa location.
Okay.
Oh, nice. So you are a Mingledorff's employee then?
I am.
Perfect.
For almost 3 years now. It'll be 3 years this July.
So,
awesome.
how did you come into your role as an ISP?
So I met my manager, Peyton Bond, through our church. I was working for Chick-fil-A at the time. I was going on my 9th year. And had Peyton over for dinner one night, and he was like, "Hey, I'm a manager at Mingledorff's, and we're opening a branch here in Tuscaloosa. I think you would be a great fit for our counter position. You should apply." And I did, and it's been wonderful ever since.
So that pretty much answers all our other questions all about your customer service skills, because you were trained in Chick-fil-A customer service.
Oh, yeah, that second mile service.
So speaking of Chick-fil-A, like, what are the things that you learned for customer service through Chick-fil-A that have really helped you excel here at Mingledorff?
So I'm sure a lot of people know that Chick-fil-A is very famous for their second mile service. So they don't settle for mediocre. They will let you know that up front. They have a very, very firm culture, and if you don't fit it, then you're out of luck. So they'll find somebody who will. So it's all about looking at the customer, and they're not just the person that hands you money and you give them a product. You want them to make sure that they feel seen and they feel heard. And it's even better if you have that repeat customer and you remember something about them. Like, just really make them feel like a human being instead of just a customer.
I love that. Okay,
Yeah,
so I got to ask this too. Mm-hmm. How many times have you said "my pleasure" when someone says thank you at Mingledorff's?
So it's funny that you asked that, because I get picked on for that. So it's so ingrained in your brain, because I said I was there for 9 years. So for 9 consecutive years, that has been my answer instead of "you're welcome."
Right.
Is "my pleasure." So it's hard to break that cycle.
I actually thought about that the other day. I was going to say "my pleasure" to someone, and I had never worked at Chick-fil-A, and I immediately thought of Chick-fil-A. But I think it's great that they have that kind of a reputation for such great customer service, that you say something as nice as "my pleasure," and that's what people think of as Chick-fil-A.
Too. Like, yeah. I feel like the Chick-fil-A experience is so uniform. Like, it's pretty seamless. You can walk in any Chick-fil-A and know the quality of service that you're going to get. I love that. I strive for that for us too.
Right, yeah.
So explain to us what a day in the life of an ISP looks like. Well, first off, let's talk about what ISP means. Can you tell us what the acronym stands for?
It is Inside Sales Professional. It's a very fun job. I like it because it's full of variables. So I never know what I'm going to face from day to day. It could be a really easy day. It could be a fairly difficult day. What I like most about it is I get to interact with people. I get to be a problem solver. My goal is to be the guy. So when a customer walks in, like, okay, I know Josh is going to take care of me. He's going to get me the right product at the right time, and he's going to give me a fairly decent deal. A lot of people say that, we know we're not the cheapest person in town, but our customer service makes up for the slightly higher price. And a lot of customers come in and say, yes, we will gladly pay extra to deal with you because of your customer service. I've heard that several times.
I love that.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about paying $9 for chicken nuggets at Chick-fil-A too. So
it's still very hard for me to do that, because I got to eat for free as an employee, and then when I was off the clock, it was half off. So I still struggle to pay full price.
Yeah, I bet that's kind of a crushing blow to your wallet.
It is, very much so.
So what is like the most favorite thing you get to do for your job?
That's a hard one. Let's see if I can narrow it down to one.
You can give us a list. You can give us a short little list.
So for me, it's the instant gratification. When you finish an order or you help a customer find the part they need, it's not a delayed gratification. It's like, hey, I just solved that problem. In a sense, I just helped you make money. So you help me, I help you. It's just a beautiful relationship.
I love that.
What about So since you didn't come from an HVAC background, how do you stay up to date with all the latest HVAC technologies and updates?
I guess the biggest thing is I listen to the
Mhm.
contractors, kind of learn their lingo, and then and we have plenty of training modules and DK's webcast. He dropped some things on there, and believe it or not, I learned a little bit more about A2L from this very podcast.
Wow, I was hoping you were going to say that. I was actually going to tease you that you should listen to Caffeine and Coils, but that's great that you actually learned something.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could also do service update class.
Mm-hmm.
You could go to that. I'm just
Yes,
plugging it.
It's
How long do
one
you
of my
think
things.
it took you to learn everything you needed to know about HVAC products in order to sell them and be successful at the counter?
I would say it took me a couple months. When I was hired on, our store was not open, so I got to cut my teeth in Birmingham. So they placed me between Bruce and Buddy from Birmingham, which have been in the industry for years. And they were hard. All the truck stock orders, everything. They're like, "Hey, take it to that guy right there," and it was rough. But now I look back and I'm thankful for them being hard on me and making me learn.
I think we're so lucky here at Mingledorff's because we have so many years of experience under like one organization and one roof, or one umbrella, if you will. Just so many people have been here for such a long time, and they've seen the transitions through refrigerants and through equipment changes and things, and even through system changes. So
Right.
it's a really unique place where you have so many people who've been here for such a long amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
What departments do you feel like you collaborate with the most in Mingledorff's?
I'd probably say inventory. I feel like I at
Yeah,
least
makes sense.
email them 2 or 3 times a day. They probably have my name on a red flag list over there. It's ridiculous, but I want to make sure that I'm giving my customers the right things. So I don't hesitate to blow up their email anytime.
That's good advice for any ISP or any really, anybody in the industry, to ask questions and stay persistent, because there's a lot of technical stuff in this industry, and it's easy to kind of make mistakes sometimes.
Yeah, and kind of going back on the last question, asking people, your peers that have been in the industry for a long time, getting their, feedback and their expertise through them is a really great way to learn too.
I think that's true for technicians in the field too. Like if you're a junior tech, really lean on your senior techs because they've seen it all, and most of them are willing to help too, I feel.
Yeah, definitely. Can you share any kind of tips or tricks for HVAC technicians when, coming to the counter to get supplies? Anything that you would want them to know?
Mainly it's to be patient.
Yeah.
Because, like I stated earlier, there's a lot of lingo that we have to learn, and, you could call it this, but we call it this, and it's just be patient. And we have to ask clarifying questions. It's not that we're dumb or don't want to help you. We generally are trying to figure out what exactly you're asking for.
Yeah, so I came into Mingledorff's without having prior HVAC knowledge as well, and it is a learning curve. There's a lot of different things that are called all kinds of different names, and people have even of different regions. We cover the whole kind of southeast, and so someone in North Alabama might refer to something differently as someone from Savannah.
Yeah. I know we covered some of that in an episode. I feel like we could probably do a couple more episodes over that very same thing.
We probably could, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What obstacles do you feel like you face that are challenging, and how do you overcome them?
I guess my top one is I'm an Enneagram 9, so I'm a peacemaker. I don't like confrontation. So when a customer comes in and they're angry, I tend to not want to engage in that, but it's my job, so I have to. So it's just one of those, grin and bear it. It's gonna be terrible, but you're gonna get through it. So it's just learning how to engage with that part of my life.
I think that's good advice for anybody in any situation like that, just to learn. Take the time to really like figure out what your personality type is and where you shine and thrive and where your strengths and your weaknesses are, so like confrontation is a weakness of yours, it sounds like, and you've kind of learned to overcome that weakness. So that's really good advice. I'm an Enneagram 8, so confrontation is kind of my thing.
Yeah.
So
I've worked for many of them.
But that's a strength of mine. But I think that's good advice, just to learn how to overcome your weaknesses and learn about who you are and how you can engage with other people that might differ from you.
I think I'm an Enneagram 5. Right?
Yeah, I think you said you were.
I don't remember how that relates to confrontation, but I am a Sagittarius, so I think that means I'm down for it.
That's funny. All right, what tools do you think have become essential for your success on the counter?
Well, I'll give you a shout out. Mingledorff is one of them.
Oh, nice. That's our texting platform. So if you are unaware, every single one of our Mingledorff branches can accept text messages. So if you'd like to reach us that way, find your local branch's number and give us a text message.
So it's a very useful tool. Even now, I have some new contractors that come in and it's like, "Was that you texting me?" I'm like, "Absolutely was." And they're like, "You mean to tell me that I don't have to call you?" I'm like, "Absolutely not. Just text me." I actually prefer that because we're a small branch, so it's just me on the counter and my manager when he's free from having to do his job. So phone calls coming in left and right, I can only answer so many at one time. So the texting is very, very handy. So Mingledorff is probably my favorite tool that I use. Not just blowing smoke at you. It's legit my favorite thing.
Well, yeah, I think are you a millennial or are you Gen Z?
I was born in '94, so I think I'm a millennial.
Okay, so you're like a little baby millennial. But as millennials, I think we all love anything where you can text in instead. And I think as, the older technicians are maybe retiring and, aging out, the newer technicians coming in, I think that they are more likely to want to text instead of.
I think the younger technicians are really making us as distributors step up our game.
Yeah,
absolutely,
and meet them where they are using technology, because they're not going to settle for anything less. Which
right.
I mean, we're part of that too. So,
and no offense to anyone older listening, I'm just making an observation.
I think it's good for all of us, though, to innovate and find new ways to reach our customers. You do a really nice job reaching out to your customers and just engaging with them without even them having to text you, which we always appreciate. I think that's a great way to make some sales and just really make your customers feel like they're seen and they're important and you're there for them. So great job.
So aside from maybe impatience, are there any common mistakes that HVAC technicians make when they're coming in to get some parts?
Trying to think on that one. I'm not really sure. Because most of them, at least in our area, they know what they're doing. They know what they're coming after.
Yeah.
Because some are just very well trained and they're so technical. Like I have one customer who's like, yeah, I get off work and I go home and I watch YouTube on HVAC things just to learn for hours. So I haven't had much experience to where they came in and asked for the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Because of that technicality that they have.
That's really good. And also to point some people into the direction of getting more technical information, we have a website, heatcool.com, and we have a lot of technical articles, we call them tech tips, on there that are about different subjects, and you can search for the particular topic you're looking for and find information on that as well.
That's good advice. That's a great website.
Lots of plugging in today's episode.
I know. So many resources. But at the end of the day, we just want to make sure our customers are taken care of.
Yeah.
Which that could be calling in, texting in, emailing in, send a carrier pigeon, whatever it takes.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll get you taken care of. Technical tips, all that good stuff. So, all right, what's our game for today?
Okay, our game is we're going to play, it's kind of like the Family Feud Fast Money questions. So I'm going to give you guys a topic, and you have to give me an answer. And these are all summer-related for when this comes out.
We
it'll be
buzzers.
summer.
We should pick. We should say our buzzers. You ever seen them do that on the radio where they're like, me, or they pick like a color or something?
Can't say that I've heard that one before.
No, okay.
I know what you're talking about, but maybe just blurt it out.
Okay, so we're blurting the answer out.
Okay.
Okay, I gotta warn you, I'm really competitive.
That's okay. I'm married to one.
Name a summer Olympic sport.
Swimming.
Ooh,
Oh man,
that was number 1 too.
yeah, you won that one. Okay, rowing. I'm gonna say rowing on that one.
It's not even on here.
Oh man,
Name a popular summer activity.
swimming.
Well,
Just
that is
stole
on
your-
there.
I just stole your idea. Okay, good. Wait, is there one higher up? So can he
No,
still guess?
that's the highest.
No, that's the highest one.
Okay.
Okay, that's what I like to do in the summer.
Name something you might find at a pool party.
Beer.
Noodle, a pool noodle.
I guess neither one of those are really on here, but pool float is, so I guess we could go pool
Okay.
float. And drinks is on here. You could say that's beer, but that's lower than pool float.
Okay.
Sorry, Josh. Name something people love about summer.
I want to say the
Outdoors.
heat, but that's just because of the business
What did
that
you say,
we're
Josh?
in.
The outdoors, like hunting, camping.
What
I
did
was
you
going to say the heat just because,
Well, they do say warm weather. That's number 1, actually.
okay.
Dang. Sorry, Josh.
Hey, it's
I
okay.
was hoping you'd beat her, but...
Maybe I should take it easy on him. Let our guest win.
Oh, no.
All right,
no.
this is the last question. Name a popular ice cream flavor.
Vanilla.
Rocky Road.
I want to give you that one because Rocky Road is my favorite. But vanilla is number 1.
Like, that's the most basic
Why
one.
is I know it's so.
That's not my favorite. I just know that one's really popular. I
It
just feel
goes
like-
vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, mint chocolate chip, and cookies and cream.
Okay.
Out of all these, cookies and cream should be number 1.
Absolutely.
Wait, so I need to know which side of the fence y'all fall on. Do you like mint chocolate chip, or do you think, you've seen the memes about like eating toothpaste is like mint chocolate chip ice cream?
I
It's
personally
okay.
love it.
You love it?
Mhm.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. It's my brother's favorite flavor of ice cream, and I don't really care for it.
I would choose it over vanilla.
Absolutely.
Oh no, I'm not. No, I'm the odd man out. I would definitely not choose it over vanilla.
But yeah, Rocky Road is my favorite, so I'm just gonna give you that one for
All right.
just for that reason. But Jenny still wins, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on with us today.
Absolutely. It was my pleasure.
Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe.